Most people will watch 100 videos on self-improvement.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Single thing they've learned.
1, 2, 3,
They'll
4,
read
5.
20 books.
My name is Ben.
And highlight pages, but their life looks the exact fucking same. If this is you, then I've got
Most
you
people
need to hear today.
will watch 100 videos on self-improvement, but won't implement a single thing they've learned.
In this video,
they'll read 20 books, take notes, and highlight pages, but their life looks the exact fucking same.
Far more important for you.
If this is you, then I've got a truth that you need to hear today.
If you're still
study does not change you at all.
Planning,
only action does.
And you're gonna suffer because of it.
In this video, I'm going to break down why taking action, whether imperfect, messy, and uncomfortable, is far more important for you than consuming any sort of information. And by the end, if you're still hiding behind research and planning, then that's going to be on you, and you're going to suffer because of it.
I gained a ton of knowledge, but I did fuck all.
So to start off, I want to talk about my story, which is that I used to be the guy who just was watching YouTube videos, taking notes, dreaming of the perfect plan to implement.
The real change
and yeah, I knew everything. I gained a ton of knowledge, but I did fuck all.
Because
I didn't actually implement anything I learned. I didn't take any action steps. I didn't apply anything.
But what is 10
and so what changed as a result of that? Nothing. The real change happens when you stop learning and you start doing. Because, yeah, study is important. It's important that we continue to consume new information and knowledge, but what is 10 times more important than that is that we actually just get out there and do the shit that we say we're gonna do and follow through.
Because you're never gonna see.
You have to realize that
results from just reading a book.
Action, execution,
take that book,
application, and implementation
figure out what it's
are all about 50 times more important than what you study.
Like, I'm dead serious. If the book asks you
because
a question,
you're never gonna see
your journal out,
real life results from just reading a book.
The book tells you to go.
What you have to do is take that book,
actually fucking try it,
figure out what it's telling you to do, and fucking do it.
Well, that's it. I've read this book. Now I know everything.
Like, I'm dead serious. If the book asks you a question, get your journal out, write down the question, and answer it. If the book tells you to go do something, like, actually fucking try it. A lot of people make this mistake where they'll read a book and they'll say, oh, well, that's it. I've read this book, now I know everything about it. This book is going to change my life now. No.
There are two types of people.
The book only works if you take the shit that it teaches you and actually fucking use it in real life. That's the only way it's going to give you any results.
Don't actually go out.
Any results at all. Like, it could be anything. Maybe you're listening to a podcast and they tell you to try something in the podcast. There are two types of people. They're going to be the people that just... They're going to be the little bitches that just nod in agreement with everything that's being said on the podcast, but then don't actually go out and fucking try any of it. And they're going to be the people that write down the things that the podcast is telling them to do and they go try them. Like, take for example, there was a podcast I was listening to with Chris Williamson and Vanessa Hudgens, and it was talking about body language and speaking.
One video.
And she told people to go take 3 videos of themselves. One video where you're recalling what you were eating for breakfast last night.
You are telling an embarrassing story about yourself.
Hold on.
And you take one video where you're making up an embarrassing
Take 2, that was pretty bad. One video where you were recalling what you ate for breakfast yesterday. You take one video where you are telling an embarrassing story about yourself. And you take one video where you are making up an embarrassing story about yourself.
The podcast didn't change.
This is what she tells the audience to do. Now, how many people who listen to that fucking podcast episode do you think actually went and just took the 5 minutes it takes to do those things?
And I look up
probably 90% of people didn't do that, and then they fucking wonder why the podcast didn't change anything. Actually go
cover up parts of myself and
like, yeah, I actually went and took the fucking videos and you learned something. I'm not trying to make stuff up. I'm going to look up and I'm going to think and I'm going to continue to have nervous body language because I'm lying. You know, these are the things you learn and you try to implement them as best you can. She talked about speaking on the out breath to make your voice just naturally deeper, which is something I never knew. So I set a fucking timer on my phone for 24 hours. I'm like, for the next 24 hours, I'm going to do everything I can to try and speak on the out breath. And I set another one for keeping my shoulders back, which is another thing that she talked about doing. These are the fucking things you have to do. You have to actually take the things that you're learning and you have to apply them. Or what you learn means fuck all. So really analyze yourself. Think about the last book you read. Think about the last video you watched. Think about the last podcast episode you listened to. Did you really go out and try to apply the things that they were talking about? Did you? And you don't have to do it perfectly because no one's perfect. You don't have to really get every single like minute thing they're telling you to do, though the more the better. And maybe this is just because I'm autistic that this, you know, that helps me do this, but are you getting what I'm saying? That you have to actually do the shit that you're being told to do, or you're not going to get the results that you're being told you will get. Like reading all the books in the world doesn't mean shit if you don't change anything that you're doing on a day-to-day basis in your life. It's that simple. It would be like going to the gym. Or it would be like reading a fucking book on how to go to the gym, but then you don't actually go. Well, that didn't do anything for you. Like, can you imagine that? Can you imagine you read through an entire book on what exercises to do, how to go to the gym, how to make the most progress possible, and then you don't actually go? What was the point? What was the point? And the reason this happens is because everybody who's not applying this shit, you just have little teeny tiny balls and you're too afraid to fail. You're too afraid to embarrass yourself a little bit. You're too afraid to have to go through the hurdles that it takes to make progress. And so you just don't try shit. You just read more books and pretend that you're actually learning stuff. When in reality, you just have tiny balls and you're too much of a pussy to go try this stuff in real life, which is where the actual progress is made. Why do we love study? The main reasons that we love study is that it gives us a false sense of progress. I agree with this. I like to use the term motivational masturbation. That's not my term, but I think it sums it up pretty well. Like, you know, you're listening to an audiobook and you're like, yeah, I'm getting better by listening to this bullshit audiobook, even though I'm not going to remember 99% of what they say and I'm not going to apply anything that they tell me to. But yeah, I'm making progress. This book's going to make me better. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not going to, I don't want to jerk myself off here, but think about Atomic Habits by James Clear. In that book, about 1 billion times a chapter, he mentions like all these references and all these documents that he's made to his website, where he's made all of these, you know, habit trackers, all these pictographs, all this stuff to help explain what's going on. How many fucking people actually went to his website and printed off the docs? How many people actually got the habit tracker template that he made and started implementing it and fucking taped it on their wall and started using it? How many people instead of that just read the book and they're like, yeah, now I've mastered how to cultivate good habits? No, you haven't. You fucking read a book on how to master and cultivate good habits. There's a complete difference. You know, the idea is that these sources of information, these books and these videos and these podcasts and all these courses, the stuff that we consume, it's giving you the tools to make changes. But you're the one who actually has to take the tools and fucking use them and implement them. There's no way around that. There's absolutely zero way around that. This is you either do it or you don't. And if you don't do it, you made zero progress. That's just the way it is. You have to quit lying to yourself if you're just reading another bullshit book but not actually making any change because of it. I guarantee you, at least when it comes to self-improvement, every single fucking book that you read will, at some point or another, include an action step that you can take to make a change. And in my opinion, if you don't actually go out, try your hardest to make that action step, you're just a massive pussy, and you just wasted your time reading that book because you're not actually going to glean anything from it. You're not going to get anything from it. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple. But yeah, studying gives us a false sense of progress. It makes us feel good about ourselves, you know, we get to sit there and jerk ourselves off saying, oh, look at me, I'm getting so much better, I'm reading this book and I'm not actually doing any of the bullshit that it tells me to do. And then you wonder 6 months later why you haven't seen any progress. Well, if you maybe just did the tiniest bit of internal reflection, you'd be able to see where the problem lies, and it's pretty fucking clear. Studying is also comfortable. There's no risk of failure or embarrassment. Yeah, this is huge. Because everybody's just a massive pussy. Nobody wants to fail in public. No one wants to embarrass themselves. Nobody wants to go up and talk to a girl and, like, you know, stumble over your words the first time and not appear confident and make mistakes and fail shit tests. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to record their first video and have it be complete fucking dog shit. You know, where they're barely speaking up, they're not looking at the camera. No one wants to be bad at these things, even though you have to be bad at them before you can be good at them, by immutable laws of nature. But no one wants to go through that shit phase where they suck at something, because it's humiliating. And it's gonna make you realize just how far you have to go and how much progress you have to make. Until you accept that when you start out at something, you're gonna be dog shit at it, you're gonna be terrible at it, you're gonna get bad results. Until you can accept that fact, you're never gonna make the progress you want to, because you're always just gonna be too scared to start. I need to go read another book before I try this. Ridiculous. There's a dopamine spike from planning or learning that tricks the brain. This is very true. This has actually been studied that we get the same dopamine response released for having done something when we're, like, planning out doing it or learning how to do it. But you have to remember that the problem with this is that when you do this, now you've gotten your reward before you've actually done the action. So you're just going to be less compelled to do the action because you've already gotten the reward in your brain. Your brain, subconsciously, you think you've already done it, and so you think you don't have to do anything more. When in reality, you just made some fucking plan to do it, and it hasn't actually achieved anything. But you've basically subconsciously gaslit yourself into thinking that you've done something when you haven't. And then when the time comes around and you want to do that thing, but it's fucking difficult, you're going to be less likely to do it because you wasted all that mental energy and all those brain points just just planning it. When it would have been, you would have been a million times better off with no plan, having just gone and done the thing, and seen the results, and then analyzed the results. It's that simple. The process is always the same. It's goal, plan, execution, analysis, adaptation. And then the loop just resets and you run it back. You make your plan, yes, but then where 99% of people fail is in the execution phase, where you do what you said you were going to do, regardless of the outcome. And then after the outcome, you analyze, okay, what went wrong? What went right? What mistakes did I make? You know, how can I change this? And that's when you move into adaptation, where we modify the plan. Or maybe we don't modify the plan because we just failed to execute on it. So we just have to try again until we can properly execute on our plan. And it's just that loop continues. For example, take the gym, you know. We make our plan, we have our workout program. Then we move into the execution phase. This is where 99% of people fuck up, is the execution phase. I'm going to follow this program for 6 months. You tell yourself. How many people actually fucking follow the program for 6 months? How many people actually do that? How many people get all the way through those 6 months and then we look at ourselves in the mirror and we say, okay, what are the results of that? How did we do? Did we follow this plan, this workout program perfectly? Did we do everything it was telling us to do? Did we track our food? Did we track our calories? Did we track our macros? Did we not eat processed bullshit but actually eat whole foods? You know. And from there, we do our analysis, we make our adaptation. You know, okay, what changes do I have to make? Oh, maybe I didn't train hard enough. Okay, I'm going to take a little more caffeine. I'm going to take a little more caffeine before my workout so I can be more intense. Maybe I didn't track my food as diligently as I should have. Okay, I'm going to go on MyFitnessPal and log the food before I eat it. That's a little tip that I've learned, guys. If you need help tracking your food, make the rule that you are not allowed to eat the food until you've logged it in MyFitnessPal, because you're 20 times less likely to if you just eat the food and you're like, I'll log it later. Trust me, that doesn't fucking work. I'll do something later translates to I'm too much of a lazy little cunt to do it right now, so I'm just going to put it off, even though I know that I'll still be that lazy little cunt when I'm going to go do it again. So I'll do it later means I'm not doing it. You have to get that through your head. It's that simple. Later does not fucking exist. You do it now or you don't do it now. It's a completely binary decision. It feels productive, but it's procrastination in disguise. Yeah. You're just putting off real action. James Clear talks about it in Atomic Habits. He says, there's a difference between motion and action. Motion can just be planning, but that's still bullshit, and it still doesn't benefit you in any tangible way. Action is when you actually go and do shit. So are you in motion, or are you taking action? It's one or the other. Are you making your plan and adjusting your plan, or are you just going and doing the fucking thing that you said you were going to do? Because the brain's going to keep score of that. The brain keeps score of every single time you do or don't follow through on your word, and it's gonna keep a scoreboard, and your self-trust and your self-worth is gonna change, and it's gonna fluctuate based on whether you're following through or on what you yikes. The brain has a scoreboard, and it's gonna keep score of whether or not you are following through on what you say you're going to do. It's going to strike it up as either an ATFT, an ability to follow through, or an ITFT, an inability to follow through. And depending on how many of each you have, that's going to impact your self-trust, your self-worth, your confidence. You know, people complain about having low self-worth. How can you complain about having low self-worth when you said you were going to wake up at 7 a.m. and then you wake up at fucking 8 a.m. every single day? Of course you're going to have low self-trust. Of course you're going to have low self-worth. You can't even consciously command yourself to fucking do something. How can you expect to have high confidence if you can't say, I'm going to make my bed this morning, and then you don't follow through on it? It's not rocket science. Establish your word as law. If you say you're going to do something, fucking do it. No ifs, ands, or buts. There can be no compromise in your mind because nothing is compartmentalized in the mind. That's going to be another amazing video that I think I'm going to make today. I'm going to have a lot of fun talking about that one. But let's move on to the power of action, because we need to understand that learning is not the driver of growth. The real driver of growth is action. That's where all of the progress is made, nowhere else. Study is your theory, but action is your practice and your feedback. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you don't buy 5 books on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and read them before you would just go to a fucking class and learn how to do it. And could you imagine you get to a BJJ class and it's a classroom and you're sitting down and there's a whiteboard and the instructor's like, okay guys, today we're studying this type of hold. How do we do it? And you fucking raise your hand and you're like, oh, you gotta hook their leg and bring them down on the mat. And like, no, that would be completely fucking ridiculous. You'd want to show up at a BJJ class and you would want to be actually there practicing the moves with your instructor so they can see you and they can help you. But for some reason we do this shit with ourselves. Oh, I just need one more book on this topic. I just need one more course on this topic. When, oh, I just need to watch one more YouTube video on how to make YouTube videos before I go and post one. When it would be 1,000 times more beneficial for you to just take your fucking iPhone, record yourself speaking, and upload it on YouTube. Like, and then just ask people to watch it and ask for feedback. It's that simple. You know, watch which videos are getting more views than others. Like, just being somebody who just sits in their room cooped up all day and studying is, you're just fucking lame. Like, you're just a weird little, autistic gooner. If you don't actually go out and try shit in real life, you cannot have the balls to complain that you're not seeing results, especially in self-improvement, if you're not actually going out and taking action steps and trying new things and tripping over yourself and failing and messing up, which we all do and is part of the learning process. So don't be so putridly arrogant as to think that you're above that. Like, sorry, this is just how it is. You're going to be doing a lot of failing and a lot of stumbling. If you can't accept that, then self-improvement is not for you. It's that simple. When you act, you fail, you learn faster, and you adapt. It's just that simple. When we do driver's ed, like when we learn how to drive a car, we don't sit there in a fucking classroom studying the accelerator and the brake pedal. We just sit there with an instructor. We go in a fucking parking lot and we drive around the parking lot till we can do it well. And then we go on a street and we drive around the little neighborhood street till we can do it well. And then we go on a small road, and then we go on a big road, and then we go on the highway. You learn 50 million times faster by doing than you do by studying. It's that simple. we've just gaslit ourselves into thinking that if we read enough books on something, then we can master it, which is complete bullshit. But the problem is just that the self-improvement space is just full of like cowardly little autistic overthinkers who just spend all day sitting in their room, reading book after book, taking notes, watching YouTube videos, and not actually leaving the fucking room and trying anything. It's wild. The brain remembers experience, not reading. Very true. If you fuck something up in real life, you're going to remember that a lot better than if you mistook a note when reading a book. Real confidence comes from doing hard things, not understanding hard things. Very true. People ask me like, oh, Ben, how are you so consistent with the gym? How do you go all the time? Because at the start, I just said I was going to go to the gym for an hour a day, and I did that for 5 months straight. Of fucking course I'm going to be fine going to the gym. Of course I'm going to have no trouble doing it every day. Like, because I fucking did it, and I built the evidence. I didn't just sit there for, I could have sat there for 5 months reading books on how to cultivate the discipline to go to the gym, but instead what I did is I turned my brain off and just fucking went. And I had good workouts and I had bad workouts, but I showed up and I fucking learned. And then you wonder why I have a good physique now. It's not rocket science. Yes, do I have to make changes and still learn how to, do I still have to learn, how to eat properly? Am I still watching videos on proper exercises? Yes, and all that's great, but it's supplementary. None of that shit matters more than just fucking going to the gym and doing the workout. That's what gets you the results. Like, this is just, I don't know why we've created this culture of like over study and under practice, which is, it's just complete tits. It's terrible. It gets people nowhere. Reading about cold showers doesn't build discipline, taking one does. Yeah, sorry to admit it to you. You can watch an hour of videos on how to take a cold shower. If you go into your bathroom and you just have a fucking warm shower, you've just wasted an hour of your life. I hope you realize that. It would be... In fact, you want to know my action step to you? Oh my god, my bad. Reset. Yikes. My action step to you for this video is, if you are in any way interested in self-improvement at all, the next fucking shower you take, start it out hot, but at the end of your shower, take that fucking handle and turn it cold, and stay in that cold water as cold as you can take it for as long as you can take it. That is my action step to you. And guess what? If you don't do that, you've officially learned nothing from this video. If you don't go take that cold shower when I've told you to after this video, you have wasted your time. You have missed the entire point of this video. That's just the simple truth. I've just given you an action step. Go implement the action step. Go take a cold shower. Go implement the fucking action step. Go apply. Go execute. Go assimilate, This is going to be the start. This is going to be the start of a changed you who actually takes action on shit and does shit that a book or a video tells them to do. So I've given you a task. Get it done, or you've learned nothing from this video. It's that simple. You can study workout plans all day, but progress only comes from showing up. We've talked about that. Books won't help you if you never talk to people. Social skills, same thing. Like, spoiler alert, you can watch 500 charisma on command videos. If you don't actually try the shit they tell you to do in a social setting, you've missed the whole point. No one makes money from just watching dropshipping tutorials. Open the fucking dropshipping business. Figure out the little details later. Right now it's more important that you just actually tangibly get the shit done. It's that simple. Let's talk about the action loop. The action loop is 4 steps. It's very simple. Try something, get feedback, reflect plus adjust, and try again. The idea of this loop is that you don't need a perfect plan. You need to move, stumble, and iterate. And we adapt through the iterations, and that's how we improve. We don't improve by fucking studying bullshit and reading more bullshit books that are just telling us the same things over and over again, but we refuse to internalize it because we haven't actually gone out and tried jack shit in real life. It's that simple. So follow this action loop. Figure out something you want to improve at and follow the action loop. Maybe it's talking to girls. Alright, so let's apply the action loop to that. Try something. We're going to go cold approach a girl. Get feedback. Did that cold approach go well? Did you get her number? Did she reject you? Reflect plus adjust. Okay, what did I say well? What did I say badly? Did I stumble over my words? Did I appear confident? Did I speak well with downward intonation? Did I have good body language? Did I hold frame? Talking to girls is a bad example, especially with cold approaches, because there's just a million reasons beyond your control that you could get rejected. Like, she could have a boyfriend, she could really need to take a shit right now, she could be in a rush somewhere, so it's a bad example, but it's an example nonetheless. And then try again. Make your changes, try again. Okay, on the next one, I'm going to make sure to speak in a deeper voice. I'm going to make sure that I hold confident, open body language. I'm going to make sure that I gesticulate more. I'm going to make sure to open my hands to show trustworthiness. I'm going to make sure to hold frame when I'm tested. And you just move and you try again and again and again. That's how you make real progress. If you do that, you're going to make 1,000,000 times more progress than a guy who just watches 2 hours of videos on how to cold approach a girl and never does it. Some mantras to follow. Start before you're ready. You're never going to be ready. That's just plain and simple. It's just a fact of life. Clarity comes from engagement, not thought. And you can't think your way into a new life. You have to act your way into it. Three very true phrases. Like, we just have a bunch of fucking losers who think they can think their way into a new life. Let's call out some of the bullshit excuses that are probably going through your head right now. But I'm not ready. You'll never be ready. Start anyways. But what if I fail? You will fail. And that's the whole point, because that's where you're going to learn. But I need to know more first. No, you just need to move now. Perfectionism is just fear dressed up as productivity. True. Perfectionism. If you have any knowledge in the esoteric, you know that perfectionism is just an illusion sent by your old frequency to try to keep you trapped in your current reality. That's another topic for another day, but the idea is perfectionism is a trap. It's an illusion, it doesn't exist, it's an ideal, it will never exist. Don't be a perfectionist. You're holding yourself back without even knowing it. Perfection isn't real. Stop trying to be perfect. Just do shit imperfectly and make it better. Perfectionism and quality are not correlated in any way. They are not linked to each other in any way. There is no link between perfectionism and quality. Until you can get through your head, you're going to be stuck forever. And would you rather be prepared or progressing? That's simple. Now, Does that mean we remove study altogether? No, because we still have to learn new shit. We still have to be studying. We still have to be learning new stuff. So how do we go about that? Because we don't want to give up study. We need to flip the ratio between our study and our practice. We need to flip the ratio between our preparation and our action. So don't study instead of your action. Study after action. So doing shit should come first in your day before learning and studying shit. Action comes first. Study comes after. Because remember what we talked about. When you spend time preparing for something and studying something, your brain's going to shoot that dopamine reward response to you that's going to make you think you've already done it when you haven't. So make a rule for yourself. You only get to study something after you've tried it. We're going to use, we want an 80-20 split. We want 80% action, we want 20% study. Which is the inverse of what people normally do. We need an action bias. We need to have an action bias. We need to lean towards action over study. That's extremely important. You should be doing more than you should be thinking. You should be doing more than you should be listening. You should be doing more than you should be studying at all times, every day. Maybe that means with books. Instead of reading 20 chapters of a book in a day, you read one chapter and you implement one idea from that chapter today, right now. And you're going to learn better when your brain sees real world need for the information. If you are the exact... Oh my god. Yikes. Yikes. If you watch this video all the way through without taking any action, you are the exact person this video is made for. So here's one challenge for you. Pick one thing that you've been overthinking on and fucking do it today. Act on it today, not tomorrow, not next week, you little pathetic little fucking pussy. I know there's something in the back of your head that you've been meaning to want to try or do. Fucking do it today. Do it today, you little bitch. Or you've learned nothing. You've learned nothing from this video if you haven't. It's that simple. Action is the only thing that's going to transform potential into progress. It's that simple. It's just that simple. So stop thinking about shit. Stop studying shit. And just go do more shit. That's what it's all about. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, first of all, go do shit. But second of all, thank you so much for your time. I hope you learned something from this video. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace out. Enjoy your day.